Hey guys, it's been 1 week since Watcher of Realms globally released. It released July 13th and it is now the 21st. So we're just over the 7-day mark and it's been a pretty eventful week, especially busy for me. My channel has massively exploded really. It's more than doubled in subscribers. There's a lot more of you watching my videos and I just want to say I'm really grateful for it. I'm really glad that you guys find the videos and the content helpful. The focus of my channel is primarily just guides. I don't really want to mess about with too much other stuff. I just want to make guides. That's what I find fun. And I like the community interaction around it. I like trying to help you guys out. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep focusing primarily on guides. Other stuff I might do on Twitch. So I'll be doing a Twitch stream this Saturday. But generally my channel will pretty much always be dedicated to guides and patch reviews and stuff like that. But if there is anything you want me to go over in future, just leave a comment and let me know and I'll be happy to see what I can do. But yeah, back to the main topic of the video. It's been a week since launch and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts about it. I've been playing Watcher of Realms for about 10 months now, maybe a little bit more. And it's been a long journey. I've played some other stuff in the past, not excessively. This was the first game in a long time I decided to stick with. I've played a bunch of other games in some of the recent times, but none of them really grabbed my attention like Watcher of Realms did. And at the time, I was pretty much the only person in at least the Western world making videos on Watcher of Realms. So I was kind of confused as to why it wasn't more popular, but I'm glad to see I'm not alone in enjoying the game, and a lot of people seem to be really enjoying the game too. So yeah, it's been really fascinating seeing how everyone gets on with global release. For me, it's been really interesting as well, as now I'm playing a new account. I get to see how things have changed in the last 10 months. When I progressed, so this is actually one of the things I really wanted to talk about in this video. When I progressed in the game initially, it was obviously 10 months ago, it was around October time in 2022. The game was much easier. You would get XP at a faster rate, you would have significantly more stamina, and you were able to just power through the whole game as a free-to-play player within a month, pretty much. Because I didn't have any content creator rewards, because my very first video ever on YouTube was on this channel, a beginner's guide that I made a long time ago. So I didn't have any content creator perks, I didn't get some diamonds or anything like that. And I got through the entire game pretty much in a month. I got through all of the end game raids. And over time they've gradually added more and the end game has built out. But it's been really interesting seeing the difference now compared to then. Now things take a bit longer to get through, the stages are much harder, and I genuinely think it's a better experience. Back then it was really easy to just blast through all of the gear raids in one go. For example, stages 12 to 18 you could just instantly annihilate. There wasn't really any difficulty. Once you got over a certain hurdle, the rest of it was very easy to clear. And now it feels like you actually have a challenge of trying to get through the stages. So I'm really enjoying the gameplay experience with this. I think they've done a great job. So I think the progression is handled much better now than it used to be. It was quite easy to run out of content because you would get through the meat too quickly. And they did add a lot of content since then, but I think it's important to make the early and the mid game feel meaningful, and I think they've done a good job at stretching that out and making it more consistent. Overall, I think the launch was handled pretty well. The PC client was not available during the early access. There was a very brief test, but besides that, this is the first go of the PC launcher, the PC client, which you can find on their website. And I think they did a pretty good job of it. I've not had any issues with it myself. I know some people are having issues with it, but as a whole, I think it works pretty well. It's really nice to have a dedicated client for PC rather than using BlueStacks or Nox or whatever else there is. So that's great. That's been going pretty well for the majority of people. But besides that, I think global launch has gone well. I think there's been some shakiness. I would prefer to have had the 2 times event last weekend, but I can understand if they wanted to give us a chance to build some summons up first. But for me, the main thing has been relearning the game and seeing things from a beginner perspective again. I did have some summons at the start of the game, but the main hero I pulled really was Morrigan, this lady at the front. And I pulled her in the first 50 summons, so that was going to happen either way. And she's the biggest benefit to my account by far. She's just absolutely crushing it, as you can see. So yeah, it's there's some people have been asking me to make a free-to-play account, and it's something I would actually really enjoy. But unfortunately, this isn't my full-time gig, so I don't have enough time in the day. I would love to do it. I'd love to have multiple accounts. I'd love to do more content. But yeah, I just don't have the time, unfortunately. But it's been super fun, and I would like to. So maybe if I can find some more time in future, I'll be able to do that. But for now, unfortunately, I don't think it's something I can quite make work. I am planning to do some streams at the weekend, just a couple of hours, perhaps a week, just so I can have a chat with you guys, because my guides are very formal, very rigid. I want to cover things in an order and be concise and get to the point quickly. So it's nice to have a bit more community interaction, and that's what the Discord is for. So if you go to my description, I do have a Discord, and we have a lot of people joining and asking for help and advice, and myself, and there's a bunch of very nice guys in there who help out a lot. So I have a lot of appreciation for them. Sinister Angel and Zavarok in particular, these guys are fantastic. So just a shout out to those. Other things from my side of things, if you're curious, I've been doing content creation on YouTube for around 10 months now, obviously, since, you know, I started Watcher of Realms. But it was a new thing for me, and I have this very much if you build it, they will come mentality. And for me, it's just a hobby. I like explaining stuff. I like looking into how things work. So it was fun for me to do. But yeah, the focus for me has always just been making guides. But I have been very surprised at how it's gone and how it's grown. And I just want to give a shout out again to Ivy League Gaming, because she's been really sweet, really lovely with me, and she's basically been someone I can just kind of nudge and be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. How does this thing work? Like, what am I supposed to do when this thing happens, or how does this work? So yeah, a massive thank you to Ivy for helping me out with all of my newbie questions around content creation. It's great to have someone you can lean on and ask for advice around certain topics. One other thing I wanted to talk about, which I found quite funny. So since I've started the game, I've been kind of hassling the community moderators and the community managers. The community managers who actually work for Moonton. If you're on the official Discord, just know that the bartenders are just volunteers. They're not paid. They're just volunteering to help out. So please give them your respect. And likewise, even the Moonton employees, they are just employees at the end of the day. They're not shareholders. They just work there. So, you know, they're just guys doing a job. So please be respectful if you can, because I've seen a few fairly unkind comments. Anyway, my lecturing aside, I've been talking to some of the community managers for a while, and at one point a while ago, I've been broaching this thing of like, I'm kind of concerned that you're not marketing the game very much, because it was coming up from January to June and no one knew about the game. And they said, oh no, you know, there's marketing plans, etc. And one of the things was, oh, we've got these plans for, like, we're going to do Salazar like this, or what do you think about like this? And there were 3 like concepts that was sent to me and asked my opinion of, and they all sounded super corny. I was kind of like, oh, okay, I don't know how that's going to work. But they did it in the end, and you can find, I think it's Salazar ADS, the video is called. I'll link it in the description, or I'll pin it in the comment or something. It's kind of funny, but it's so corny. Like, it's real, like, raid corniness kind of advert levels. But it's funny to see it, and you can tell they've put some effort into it. It's not like a super cheap thing. They are actually trying to compete with Raid for marketing. We'll see how long they can keep this up, because, I mean, that's got to be expensive, but judging by this weekend's pools, I guess they have the money for it now. But yeah, it's interesting. Like I was saying, when I was starting out and I was putting so much effort into videos for so long, I was getting kind of concerned. I was like, so I've invested all this time into making videos and guides, and the community is still really small, and no one seems to know about the game. And I was a little bit concerned. I thought, well, is this going to go anywhere, or is it just going to peter out? Because there's been a couple games this year that were hyped up and then nothing happened, and this game didn't even have the hype at the time. And then suddenly we hit like a week before global release, and there was still nothing. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I guess, you know, it's fine. As long as there's people playing the game, then it will still be enjoyable to do stuff. But yeah, then suddenly launch day happened. A couple of big channels made some sponsored videos. The community started to grow a bit. I was like, oh, that's nice. You know, people are playing the game. People are aware of it. Some of my good friends started to play the game as well, and that was really fun to have them on board. And then suddenly we had Viva La Dirt League, had like a sponsored video, which was really fun. And we had some massive channels, some massive YouTubers started coming on board, a bunch of sponsors. And yeah, it's kind of just been crazy since then. It's massively exploded, loads of players, and I guess their marketing was a success. So I think Watcher of Realms will be around a while. I think if they're willing to put in the marketing, I know it sucks to say it, but that's kind of how it seems to work. The games that are willing to spend the marketing budget tend to be the ones that last. And yeah, I think they're willing to. From this, I don't think they're going to be putting all this effort into just market for a couple of weeks. I think there'll be prolonged marketing, so I'm afraid you'll have to get used to seeing their videos on your streams, on your YouTube ads. But it's good for us if we want to play the game. It's good that the game keeps getting new players on board. And yeah, I think it's good overall. On the topic of people joining the game and marketing, maybe this is a bit of a hot take, so I apologize if I offend anyone, but I find it a very interesting topic. I've seen quite a lot of comments on my channel over the time I've been making videos of people saying, oh, I was really interested in this game until I found out it was a tower defense. And as soon as they hear tower defense or see tower defense, they're just completely put off by the idea of playing Watcher of Realms. And I don't really get it. And this is the slightly spicy part. People have been playing other games like EE and Raid and all these other turn-based and idle games. So why do they take issue with tower defense? If you could explain it, I would genuinely appreciate it. I'm not just trying to be rude. I don't understand. I've tried playing some of those games and I didn't enjoy it because you don't have much gameplay. A lot of it is just nudging numbers around until it works, or retrying it until it works. But there's very limited tactics. The tactics are use these heroes and maybe start them here. But there's not much timing involved. There's not much else to it other than just making sure you have the right stats, you've grinded enough, or maybe you've got the strong enough heroes. And for sure, there is some parity in that in Watcher of Realms, but there is a lot of positional play. And you can get very far with a very weak team in Watcher of Realms by just being clever about your placements, your ultimate timings, how you use your heroes. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I'm not saying it's a superior game or anything. I'm just saying I don't understand why the idle games especially, and even some of the other games, the turn-based games, get a free pass, but being a tower defense game is somehow not okay. So yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand what the hang-up is over the tower defense games. I've not played any since like Armor Games 15 years ago. That was my era of tower defense gaming, like, you know, the little flash games that you play online. So anyway, that's something I found interesting, and I had a bunch of friends who were joining the game, and they were kind of like, well, I'm going to play because it's a new thing and it's interesting, but I'm not interested in tower defense, so, you know, maybe I won't stick around. And so far, they've all seemed to actually genuinely really enjoy the game. And the response from the community is that people are actually really happy with the game. I've seen a lot of people saying they're actually surprisingly enjoying tower defense. And yeah, it seems to be a bigger thing now. People seem to be quite happy with the game. They seem to enjoy the tower defense elements, the challenge of it, the complexity. So maybe this will be a change. Maybe we'll see more games akin to this kind of style of tower defense. I don't think they've nailed everything by any means, but I think it is fun. So it's cool to see that happening. It's cool to see the change subtly. And yeah, it's just something I wanted to share because something I found interesting myself. I don't really understand why there's such a big hang up about it. It's something that I found quite interesting. But yeah, anyway, back onto the thing I started the video to talk about, which is the global release. So it's gone well. Lots of players have come on, lots of players have joined. I imagine Watcher of Realms will be around for some time yet. And just some predictions for the future. As I've played for a while, maybe I can help you out. Next weekend, there'll probably be a 10 times summon only, I'm guessing, because last weekend was a 10 times. This weekend is a 2 and a 10 times. Next weekend, we'll probably return to a 10 times. I expect I'll be introducing 10 new heroes. My prediction of the new heroes, I reckon they'll add Vienna and Arrogance as the 2 new heroes. While the game's still hot, they want to add the best heroes, I would guess. And Vienna is one of the best mages. That's my prediction. It's fun to make predictions and see how it pans out. Anyway, if you go to the event hall calendar, you can see the upcoming events, but it does take a while before you can actually see what's coming at the weekend. For some reason, sometimes it won't even update until the Thursday to see what the next day's event is. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying the global release. I'm glad it's going well. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it as well. It's been fun making videos. It's been fun streaming on Twitch and chatting with people. And generally I'm having a blast. So I'll definitely be sticking around and making a bunch more videos in future. But I'll leave the video there for now because I'm kind of rambling a bit. I'm getting it out of my system because I normally can't do that in my guides. So thank you guys very much for watching. I do genuinely appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who's subscribed because it's helped my channel grow massively, which has been really fun for me to experience. So yeah, thanks again guys. Have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.